We tried to do everything the opposite of everyone else. And yeah, the rest is history, I guess.
And it's weird.
We don't know what's going on.
Yeah, I'm pretty social, but for this type of things, I don't know how to react. It's strange.
I mean, I'm very glad that there's new films coming into the market where maybe portrait is nice, but it's kind of boring for me.
I mean, why they should spend $20 for a roll of film when they can have a digicam.
Freunde, was geht? Wir sind wieder für euch unterwegs und zwar in Berlin bei SAFELIGHT, glaube ich in Deutschland so das bekannteste Foto- und Filmlabor. Und wir stellen uns heute die Frage, lohnt es sich 2025 eigentlich noch Film zu fotografieren? Spricht vieles dafür, vieles dagegen, zum Beispiel die ganzen steigenden Kosten die ganzen Jahre. Und wer könnte es uns also besser beantworten als die Leute von SAFELIGHT? Deswegen werden wir heute mal mit denen quatschen. Außerdem schauen wir später noch in den Developing- und Scanning-Prozess mit rein. Es lohnt sich also dran zu bleiben und es ist ziemlich kalt, deswegen würde ich sagen, schnell rein da. Bevor wir die jetzt mit Fragen bombardieren, schauen wir uns doch erstmal um, was es hier so zu entdecken gibt.
My name's Chris. I was actually born in Germany and I grew up in the States, in Connecticut.
So I'm Alessandro. I'm the other half of SAFELIGHT. I'm Italian and I moved here in Berlin like in 2011.
And I decided to move back here about 11 years ago. Once I moved here, I was really getting back into analog photography and I kind of noticed there was a bit of a lack of shops or stores or any community, I mean, at least for non-native German speakers here in Germany. And yeah, I decided like, I want to do a shop. I want to do something related to analog photography. I mean, that's just how the idea started, simple as that. I was already kind of buying cameras, getting my film developed around the city and all this kind of stuff. And I met Alessandro. We decided like, let's join forces and try to make this company happen.
I mean, my background, it's a bit like complicated because I'm actually a geophysic, so I was studying and doing other stuff like volcanoes and earthquakes. And then when I moved here, I started to work like for like Booking.com, and then finally I worked for Polaroid. So I was happy because my passion was analog photography in general. And when I started to work for Polaroid, I also like started to bond more and more with Chris about his idea, you know, to have a website, because we were both selling our own, you know, like gear in eBay. So it was like, let's open a website where we can sell our cameras. And then I said, okay, I will do the Instagram page. And he was like, yeah, do also the Facebook one. And then, yeah, we started, you know, like to deliver cameras door, you know, like it was really funny. We were texting people, yeah, we can meet in Alexanderplatz, and we were just bringing this camera. And yeah, it was fun. And then we started like to stock stuff in my basement. He was working like in screen printing, so all the merch, he was taking care of it. Also the graphics, and then little by little we moved everything in a sort of warehouse, and then we quit our jobs.
And it didn't just start with a shop and whatever, we had to start from the bottom basically, because it's quite difficult to start a business in Germany. We started with the Flohmarkts, then we were doing some pop-up shops, and we were kind of trying to do, I think we did a zine swap and some exhibitions as well. And slowly it just started building and building. There was one time we did a flea market in Neukölln, and it was like we made 2,000 or 3,000 euros in the day, and we were like, holy shit. We didn't know that was gonna be so successful, and we're like, fuck it, let's try to do a shop.
And we opened the first shop that he was inventing, and was more, you know, this type of do-it-yourself type of shop, and was tiny, definitely more cozy. And then I think, yeah, with the COVID, things like went definitely like in a way that we were not expecting, but obviously in a good way. So we started to think, well, maybe we should have a bigger space where we can also, you know, have the lab and the shop together. We did it with this shop.
And yeah, the rest is history, I guess. And now we are here in Prenzlauer Berg with 12 employees, and yeah, we have basically 2 locations. We'll go to the lab later, and yeah, we've developed 200 rolls a day, and yeah, it went from nothing to this quite fast. So. Now we've maybe hit a little bit of a plateau because, you know, we don't know how many people are shooting film. We're also just kind of in the German market. We're slowly, you know, now there's labs also popping up everywhere. We were like exclusively one of the kind of mail order labs in Germany for the first few years. But now I think since I think we maybe inspired a few other places. There's like On Film Lab in Frankfurt. There's Camera Dealer in Cologne, there's Chrome in Hamburg. I think in Munich this Blix maybe is the name. I'm not sure if they're developing, but yeah, now there's, you know, a few different other places around the country. But I think, yeah, when we started there was not this kind of genre of shop, I guess.
The core, it's like cameras, second-hand cameras, like point and shoot, SLRs and rangefinder, a bit of everything. And this is like the second-hand part of you know, our items that we sell, the products. Then we have merchandising, different kind of stuff like accessories, straps for cameras, and then we have like new cameras like Polaroids or Fuji Instax cameras. Some new also analog cameras like the Pentax 17 and the new Rolei, and then this part, it's basically me that I like curate the magazine or the photography books. At the beginning we were also taking, you know, like zines from customers, but it's really complicated to keep track on the sales. So now we have just like big like names, let's say like publisher like Void, Disco Bay. Then we have like the Dead Beat Club, yeah, and I like to have this part because I think it can be also interesting to share little projects in photography that they can be really interesting. And then, yeah, we have other accessories, long weekend stuff, Reto, yeah, Oof also, because we did a collaboration with them. We launched their new collection, Kodak and Hoof. And that was really cool because, yeah, it was a huge party and we had fun.
So lots of inspiration going on here.
Yeah. I mean, there are a lot of also collaborations, so that's also cool, to be honest. I mean, also with Polaroid, we did a really nice artist talk. So their Polaroid photographer came here and explained her vision, so it was interesting. Yeah, I mean, the whole concept was more that, you know, that we could give some sort of space to analog photography, but not only, I mean, photographers in general, that they want to, you know, to feel like, I don't know, comfortable.
We tried to do everything the opposite of everyone else because as a non-native, technically German speaker, I was kind of upset about the scene, how it was very, you know, unless you speak German, you would go into a shop and they would not really be so helpful. I mean, it was also different coming from America where everybody's very friendly when you go and speak with them. In Germany, or at least Berlin, it's kind of a different atmosphere. You go in and it's just about business. Hey, what do you want? Okay, that's it, boom, bye. It's not like, hey, what film should I shoot? Or can you help me, like, where I want to buy a camera? Can you recommend something? They kind of were like, I don't know, it wasn't a thing. And we just decided, let's just be nice to people. And like, that's like our mantra. When you come in, we just will be nice to you. And like, you ask a question and we'll answer it, like, and not be a dick. So that was our like main thing.
Because at the beginning, me and Chris, we were not feeling really comfortable with the shops where we were going to buy stuff because they were not really willing to talk, to have small talks, you know. Yeah. But I mean, I think for us was important, you know, to talk about photography and, you know, art in general and have some time for, you know, the people that are coming here.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, now, of course, it's more difficult because I'm always in the back. But when I'm in front, I'm always happy to, you know, to have a chit chat.
Yeah, I mean, we had to kind of struggle because we're founding a business here in Germany where they don't really want you to found a business. It's more like work for a company, get your pension and retire, like that's it. It's so every step of the way we had resistance, and we just pushed through and said like, fuck it, let's try it. And now we're here and yeah, it's working, I guess, sort of, but yeah, we would love to expand more, offer more services. It's just, yeah, you know, baby steps.
The thing that we really wanted was more to create like a community. So the first shop was also the base of our street photography club. We had, back in the days, the BLNS PC was our street photography club. Then we stopped after 1 year because we didn't have time to continue, but we were 12 of us. So it was also our headquarters, and then we were also hosting exhibition at the beginning of friends, of course, and then customers, and in general stuff that we liked. And then we kept this also in this new shop. We do like open calls where people can apply, you know, for the exhibition. So in this case, they will have to pay 10 euros. And we do prices that will be featured in our magazine. And then the first prize is also like they can do an exhibition. The last 2 free exhibitions were more like people that they apply directly, and we are always happy. Because I think it gives also more space to express to our customer or whatsoever wants to do an exhibition. And normally the vernissage, we remove everything because this island you can just push them away, and there is space, music, and yeah, and it's a nice way to you know, to be all together. Yeah.
We know a lot that come in, like you saw on Saturday when you guys were here. There's a lot that we, you know, they come quite regularly that we deal with, but I would say, yeah, I would say about 20% are professionals, and they come and they bring 10 rolls a week or 20 rolls a week, and you know, we know how they like it scanned. Then yeah, the rest are just amateurs shooting around on vacation, and I think now we are at a price point that's similar with Rossmann DM, so but our quality is exponentially better than theirs, so people come here even if they're just doing it for fun and, you know, once in a while. Slowly it's always it was kind of growing every year. Like once we started the lab, I mean, once we actually opened a real shop, we saw like everything doubled like right away, because they were like, oh, we're a real place, we're not just online. They, you know, could come and talk with us, touch the products, touch the cameras, and then once we opened the lab, then again, it was like a double, like in everything. You know, we had more customers, we had more money, we had whatever. And then slowly, we were just doubling in the film drop-offs, let's say. Like, and I think last year we were about 55,000 films we developed. So I think we did the averages close to 200 a day, on average every single day of the year. I think we did hit a record this past summer. In one day, we received 500 films. Like this was, we had all the online orders from the weekend plus all the jobs from, I think it was on a Tuesday. We added it all up and it was like over 500 rolls. So this was a very like kind of cool milestone to hit for us.
Yeah, I think it was so quick that we never really like had the moment to realize what it is, you know, or what we are. I mean, it's, yeah, I mean, I was in New York and I went to the shops that we know, you know, each other from Instagram, and they were recognizing me, people that were there. Yeah. And it's weird.
You don't know what's going on.
Yeah, I mean, Chris told me he went to grab a coffee and the guy is like, ah, you're the guy from SAFELIGHT, I'm one of your customers. And it's always like, okay. I went to Ace and Tate, you know, for glasses, and the guy was like, you are one of the, and yes. and I'm always like closing. I'm pretty social, but for this type of things, I don't know how to react. It's strange. Yeah, I don't know.
Okay.
It's kind of like the vinyl record thing. You know, it's kind of becoming more mainstream. You see it in a lot of shows. Also, like Severance, this Apple TV show. The guy's using a Leica. You know, I'm trying to think of new shows that also have a film camera in it. But yeah, it's kind of happening more that you see these. Yeah, the cameras in there are film cameras. So I think that it's really becoming a mainstream thing again, or it's coming back, but there's still a lot of maybe haters or people that I don't realize, like it's still pretty niche. So when I whip my camera out in public or at a party, they're like, oh, you still, like you can get that film, you can develop it, like where do you do that? And I'm always like, I do it myself, like, you know, but no, it's still a really big thing in the photography scene, I think, and it's still a lot of the digital cameras are trying to emulate the analog look. Like all these Fuji cameras, they all have this like fake Fuji filters. I don't know what they call them. Emulations, yeah. So I think like, but you could just shoot the film to begin with and then you have the real like look. Obviously it costs money, but I think the upfront cost of a film camera is much cheaper than an upfront cost of €1,000. Like you can get a €20 SLR, say €50 point and shoot, and you can get a €10 film and shoot I don't know how many until you get to €1,000 or €2,000 for this camera, and you know it's a much easier way to get into photography rather than to spend this expensive, buy this expensive camera. So I think this is also the nice thing about analog photography compared to digital. But, yeah. When we started, let's say color plus 200 was about, we were selling it for €3 and now we're selling it for €12.50. So the markup is like crazy now that it's changed. We're not making any more money. It's just every year they added €1 or €2 and slowly now it's like, yeah, maybe we buy it for €10, we have to sell it for 12. It's not like there's much money in the film, but we have to offer it because of, people come in, they buy the film from us, then they will develop with us. We try to, we have to be in this full, ecosystem, I guess, where our biggest expense after employees and stuff is the film. Like we have to have all the films basically, at least 10 or 20 of each film, and there's quite a lot of films out in stock at all times, and all the Portras and all the Kodak stuff, 100 of each one. And this is tens of thousands of euros at any moment that we have to have there just to keep this film in stock. And this is difficult to do, I think, for also smaller companies.
And did the demand for film change with the prices increasing, or do the people buy different film stocks?
I don't think so. To be honest, everybody still buys the cheapest ones or like the least expensive. Kodak Gold, Ultramax, Fuji 200, 400, and also all the black and white ones. But you'd be surprised that how many people come and say, I need a Portrait 800 or I want 5 Portrait 800s, and they're like, it's 22, 23 euros right now. And you can get an Ultramax or a Gold for 11. So we saw Portrait go from under 10 euros to now 20 euros. So we've been doing it for quite a long time. And when it hit 10 or 11 euros, we were like, everybody's gonna know, no one's gonna shoot film anymore. It was our prediction. And we're like, we're gonna have to close. No one can afford it. Apparently everybody can afford it. I don't know. It's still going on, yeah.
Okay. And do you have an idea maybe how long the game of rising prices can go on until the market will collapse?
I think that there's maybe a bit of a bubble happening. Also this ECN2 stuff, the cinema film with the Remjet, this is kind of having its moment for because it's the cheapest film you can get. Now I don't know what's going to happen with Kodak. There's some rumors if they're going to block it or whatever, but it's the only cheap way to shoot film at the moment. And a lot of this bulk loading stuff. So people buy the old cinema film because it's quite cheap. You can cut it up yourself, or we do it ourselves here. And it's the only, you can get a roll less than 10 euros. And the raw cost is close to 3 or 4 euros. So if you know how to do it, you save so much money. And I think this is something that I think people will always find a way to shoot film. And this is the way at the moment how people are doing it. So if they block this, I don't know what's going to happen. There's going to be still maybe black market sellers or getting it somehow. Because if the cheapest film is 10, 20 euros, it's going to be really difficult for people to start getting into it, I think. So.
Before when we started, you had choices, but now it seems more like a sort of monopoly. It's a big word, a big statement, but it is, you have Kodak, and if they put a Portrait for 20 euros, even more now, and you don't have another option. Yes, you have, the Kodak Gold or whatever, but it's still Kodak, it's Kodak, Kodak, Kodak. So, I sort of don't like it so much, because I can see that there is a change in our customers. They shoot less. It's not anymore, a funny hobby, or a cheap hobby. As we said, if you could have a Color Plus 5 years ago for 3 euros, and you buy a 50 euros point and shoot, it's okay, you can afford it, and you can also afford to make mistake. Who cares? You keep shooting, it's 3 euros, who cares? But if you are putting a between 10 and 20 euros film, you don't really want to have 5 good pictures and then the rest is shit. I don't know. So I see that they are more in some ways careful. Yeah. And so probably I'm not saying that the curve is going down in customers or people that they approach analog photography, but in some ways yes.
I'm very glad that there's new films coming into the market. Harman is doing all of the black and white. They're doing Ilford, basically. They're the main company that owns Ilford. They're our #1 selling black and white film. Now that they're doing color, I think it's really nice. They kind of, I think, have maybe an old school marketing strategy. It didn't really work so well. Germany was left in the dark when they did the launch. I think it's really great that there's someone else other than Kodak doing film or they're already doing black and white, but to do color is quite nice. I personally kind of like the film. We shot a little bit of a mini editorial when we have finally got it, and I think it has it has a thing that you can use it. It's sort of like a lomography style film, but I think they have to make something a bit better, like more normal looking. I don't think it should look exactly like Portra or whatever, or Ultramax or Gold, but I think it still should be a normal looking film at a sort of normal price. Now they just released this red one, I don't know if you saw. They just did the same as Cinestill, where they just put it backwards and made a red scale. I think this is a bit cheesy. Yeah, their marketing thing, I don't know, is a bit weird. We weren't involved at all in the release. I guess there was some talk at, there was Photokina or one of these like Messe, I don't know. And randomly, yeah, some other random very small labs in Germany got it, but we didn't, and like other 3 labs that we know, I don't think got it either as a pre-release to like test it and give feedback. So we were a bit confused why. We've contacted them multiple times, we haven't gotten any response, so we don't have any direct line to Harman. So if you're watching this, we would like to be involved. No, but yeah, so now they released this red scale one. I haven't tested it. I don't even know if our supplier has it at the moment. But yeah, I hope that maybe then they will release something else a bit better. I mean, the other people in the scene are the Orvo. They're also a bit of a weird like thing that they just kind of released it. No one had really tests of it. There was some stuff in the States, I think, that some labs tested it, but even though it's a German company, we reached out and we just got a response like, if you order 500 rolls, we can give you some. And we're like, but we just want 1 roll so we can do a social media post and like see if we like it. And yeah, I don't know, we have it, it's okay. It is a bit funky, the colors. I don't know if you guys shot it yet. It's kind of like only certain colors pop, the rest are kind of grayish. But it's a start, it's all good, and the price is sort of okay. But yeah, I think hopefully now in China as well, there's gonna be Lucky Film. We heard there's rumors that they're doing a color film. I mean, they already announced it. We've gotten some samples of the black and white. They claim that their color film will be the cheapest in the world, or I don't know how they worded it. So this is really good. If they can get a color film under 10 euros, that's like decent. I think this will then maybe scare Kodak to be like, okay, I can't keep just pushing films, and then everybody's gonna switch to this other film. You know, there's lots of things at play. I mean, the film scene is very small, I think, in comparison to digital stuff, but I think that a lot of people will get upset once it becomes just a money grab, maybe? I don't know. Like, I think this around 10 euro average thing is okay, but if it starts getting to the cheapest film 20 euros, it's gonna be, you know, pricing everyone out, I think. And I think they're just trying to find the breaking point where this is like, okay, it's too much, we now lost all the things, and then they're gonna bring it back down. I think they did this with Kodak Gold a little bit, the 120, and also with Tri-X. Apparently they're lowering the price again, because I think the price of Tri-X was over around 15 euros for black and white, which is almost double the price of every other black and white. Like, I think HP5 is around 10 euros, and then Tri-X was 15, and they're kind of usually the same level. So no one was buying Tri-X, and I think that they realized, okay, maybe we can't like force it so high. So I really hope that they kind of maybe come to their senses a bit. But I think they were just bought by a big like investment company, so I don't know how well with shareholders and stuff. So we'll see. Like, even if the quality is not as good, like for example, I like Color Plus. Maybe people don't like this because of the quality. I like the grain. I'd like it to be a bit yellow. I like the way that it looks sort of like what people imagine film looks like almost. Where maybe Portra is nice, but it's kind of boring for me. Like, it's also really expensive, and then you get a photo that looks kind of exactly what you shot. And I think that it's like, yeah, for professionals it's great, but as an amateur shooter, I don't think you need to spend 20 euros on a Portra, like just for shooting your like snapshots.
And it makes sense. I mean, why they should spend 20 bucks for a roll of film when they can have a digicam, and you know, in some ways the results are similar. Let's say they are not, of course, because I mean they are similar if you check the screen of your digicam, but when you put it in the laptop, I mean, it's awful, the quality, and it's not really comparable to analog photography. But I do understand, you know, if you don't have money or you don't want to spend so much money in film, yeah, that's, yeah.
But yeah, I really hope that, like, Fuji now apparently is doing stuff in China. Maybe Kodak will do it as well. I don't know, now there's all this stuff in America with, you know, Trump and all these tariffs, so I don't know, like, what's the deal. But at least Fuji, you know, is outside of this. They're gonna ship to the rest of the world. It would be really great if they got back into the game officially, and you know, even in Japan, it's such a big market for film and camera nerds and stuff like this, so I don't know why they completely kind of disassociated from it, but maybe it's gonna come back. Let's see.
So last but not least, you mentioned amateur. Is it still worth getting into analog photography?
I think so. I think you can make great photos with a cheap camera. This is the best thing. You can go to the Flohmarkt. If you're lucky, you find a camera that's working, or you come to us. We have cameras from 50 euros, let's say, and you can shoot and have great photos. I mean, you can shoot with basically any camera and have fun. Even disposables, you can get great photos. Where the entry point for digital is quite difficult. The technology, in my opinion, really quickly, or they market it that way, it really degrades fast. So to get a camera that's 10 years old, sometimes you can't even find the card for it anymore. We were buying some digital cameras in the past, and they had I don't know what came before SD card. It was like a longer one. Yeah, like a floppy disk or a XD card maybe. Like, and we couldn't even find like how to put it anywhere on any computer. So, and I think with a film camera, like we have stuff here right now, I think that's from the 60s, like, and we can develop it, we can scan it, you know, like it's 50, 60, 70 years old and we can still use it, you know, and you can take your negatives from your grandparents and we can scan them in and you have them on your phone or you have them digitally or you have them printed. Like this raw negative emulsion is still used.
And I'm always asking myself a lot of times if I shouldn't, you know, just buy a Ricoh GR2 or whatever, because it was my favorite back in the days, and shoot digital. But then every time I have the files, I'm like, fuck, I should have shoot like analog. Because yeah, it's completely different. I mean, it's so like different also from cameras to cameras, from film stock to film stock. So no, I mean, if they are curious, and they shoot and they like to do, you know, photography, they definitely should also try analog, yeah.
It is still a big part of photography, so I hope it still grows and I hope that there are more labs and stuff opening, maybe not for business-wise, but I think in general it's good for everyone that there's a local lab that actually has good quality and is nice and wants to talk with you, and actually there isn't a big bar to get you into photography, and I think that's what we wanted to do, and I think now that people are also inspired, they're doing their own shop, own lab, and making it easier for everyone to shoot. So I think it will slowly keep growing. Let's just hope that Kodak and Fuji and all them don't go crazy with the prices.
Fingers crossed.
Yeah, let's see.
All right, thank you very much.
No problem.
For answering all
Yeah.
our questions. Nice. All right. Yeah,
Thanks a lot.
Was, the whole crazy party.
Thank you.
Thank you for the interview.
Thanks, man.
It was really interesting to get all the insights and everything. So, wir haben es jetzt auf jeden Fall ins Lab geschafft. Hier sind die Filme vom Wochenende. Die wollen wir jetzt mal noch entwickeln lassen. Die Maschinen kennen wir ja schon ein bisschen. Wir schauen uns später das Scanning nochmal genau an. Aber bevor es jetzt losgeht, wird der Chris uns einfach nochmal einen kurzen Einblick darüber geben, was hier eigentlich passiert. So, what's going on here?
Yeah, I mean, just the quick overview of the lab. We have the developing area here. We have 2 color developers. We have 1 black and white. And then we have our scanning. This whole side of the lab is the scanning. We have 6 Fuji Frontier 3000s. We have 2 HS 1800 Noritsus. We have a big flatbed to do contact sheets. And we have 2 DE 100 dry lab printers. Yeah, so I guess we're going to develop your film and we can go scan it on both scanners. So
Yeah,
Yeah.
let's do that.
Cool.
All right, here are my rolls.
So yeah, that's it there. We have to just wait now.
Yeah.
But so that beep means that it's out. I didn't press so hard on your roll, but it's all good. And yeah, I think the next one then is the last one. So yeah, it's the film.
Yeah.
And you can see the difference in the, like this is the Kodak Gold and this is Portra.
Yeah.
You can see the base colors are a bit slightly different. Yeah, so our lab, like we mainly scan on the frontier for most people. Most people like this look. I think basically in summer when we're at our busiest, we're about putting between 200 and 300 films out per day. Like they come in and we try to put them out within the same day. There is a bit of a delay always because of the weekends. We don't work on the weekend and if there's holidays, but yeah, we did a nice test for the week after Christmas when everybody dropped all their holiday photos. And yeah, we had, I think 1,300 rolls came in and we scanned and developed and they went back out within the same week. So it was around 240 rolls or something like this a day. But yeah, this is only possible because we have 6 Frontier, 2 Noritsu. All the professional stuff goes on the Noritsu or any weird, funky rolls. The rest of the bulk of it goes on, yeah, on these. Usually we have basically one person running 3 at a time. So we have 2 like full-time Frontier scanners. And then on the Noritsus, we usually have 1 and 1 to do only medium format and 1 person doing the 35. So yeah, and then in the developing section, usually we have 1 person only doing the black and white films. And then we have 1 person doing all of the color development. And then yeah, we have an office manager as well that's running around taking all the post stuff in. Okay, so you guys want Noritsu? Okay, so if you didn't have a tutorial about the Noritsu, I guess, yet, then I can go a quick like thing. So we have this double screen setup here, similar to the Frontiers. We have different input settings. So yeah, low, mid, high JPEG, low, mid, high, and TIFF. So I guess if this is sort of a professional thing, we would do high TIFF. Then you can also pick if it's color, if it's black and white, or if it's slide film. And then I don't know, all these other things that are grayed out. I think you can put it to CD, hard drive, and stuff in the past, which we don't need. Then down here, simple, we can put the number in. I don't know, what's the film number we're doing first? 2303. Okay, and then scan condition. We can also change the different file formats in case you're doing XPAN or half frame, but we're just doing normal full frame, so we're leaving it at that. It's more interesting with the 120 because you have the opportunity to scan a bit of the borders. On the 35, it's not possible. It's a bit, it kind of sucks, but there's nothing we can do. And then there's also this force stop check. If you're shooting a lot of stuff dark or in weird lighting conditions, you can actually pick where the scanner will do the frame borders. It's pretty good at picking it on itself. I think that your photos look fine. I don't think I need to do that. But yeah, like we have another Frankie who works here. He's shooting a lot of concerts on Cinestill, so you just have the lights of the person in the concert. The rest is black, so you can't actually figure out where the borders are. So it's quite nice that this allows you to do that. So yeah, now it's just saying insert film, so it's waiting for us.
Yeah, I'm overzealous when I'm thinking about the cash flow. I never had no handouts, just came natural. I've been testing so much, all these wrestlers nice, all these different situations that
we tried to make it as baseline as possible. We don't want to force what we think looks good onto the customer. The Noritsu does quite a good job. Everybody's quite happy. There are other labs that maybe add the chroma or add graininess suppression, but then this would lower the sharpness. Also, this is automatic sharpness. We don't want any fake sharpness to be put onto the files because people really notice it. So for us, like, I scan, maybe I also do add a little chroma. This is kind of just adding saturation, but for most customers, we don't want to do that because then we're just adding fake colors, let's say. So, I mean, I would probably leave this at 0. Maybe here, I think it's okay. This one, I would just bring it up a little bit so the black doesn't go out, and maybe I would bring the highlights down on this photo just a little bit.
Oh, there it is, the money shots from yesterday. I think we're the only ones who made this.
Who picked it up.
Shot,
Nice. Robert is sitting in our wonderful office area. So yeah, we kind of have a system that we tried to make it sort of in a circle. That was the idea of the lab originally. It's coming in, it's coming directly here to office or whatever, then it goes in a circle, comes back, then it comes back here to finish. And then usually, like, for example, these are to ship out for maxi briefs. and then the rest of the stuff then gets taken and brought back to the lab. So it's, I don't know, the kind of concept.
So Freunde, was bleibt mir noch zu sagen, als vielen Dank an SAFELIGHT, die das Ganze hier für uns möglich gemacht haben. Wenn euch diese ganze Art Content interessiert, dann müsst ihr natürlich jetzt abonnieren, ein Like da lassen und schreibt auch gerne mal einen Kommentar, was ihr von der ganzen Sache haltet, was würde euch mal interessieren, wo wir noch zu Besuch hingehen sollten. Wenn ihr noch Fragen zu dem ganzen Thema Labor habt, gerne an uns oder direkt an SAFELIGHT. Wir connecten das einfach und ansonsten würde ich sagen, vielen Dank fürs Zusehen und dann sehen wir uns beim nächsten Mal.